Next up, we have Halo Canticles from the Halo 5 Guardians soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, support this channel as much as you want, but not at your expense. And two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track, so I will be pausing a lot, as I will be pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number two, this is recorded live on stream on a single take, so I might stumble upon my words. Whatever happens, happens. So, with that being said, let's see. Halo Canticles. Let's see. We start with the Halo leitmotif. So, a leitmotif, so we have two concepts here. We have the concept of a motif. The motif is the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence, the seed from which everything comes from. And a motif becomes a leitmotif whenever you are using it in more than one piece for the same purpose. In this case, we are using the exact same motif, maybe not in the same key signature, the same tuning, but everything. Everything else is pretty much the same. The melody is pretty much the same. So this is, of course, the Halo leitmotif. And there are a couple of other leitmotifs that we have. Not every motif is a leitmotif, every leitmotif is a motif. And in this case, Halo, they know what they're doing every time you hear that motif. I haven't even played Halo and I get nostalgic about it. So that's how good this leitmotif is. So we're having this. Let's see where it goes. And thank you for hanging out, Stride. Yep, the second part of the melody. Developing that melody, keeping that motif. Let's see where you go from here. Where are you going to take this from? And we use one of the most powerful tools a musician could ever have. Silence. Let's see where you go. We've also heard this one. This is another leitmotif that we had in one of the older tracks that we've done before. And this is beautiful. We are bringing what is called a string orchestra. A string orchestra is, I would say, about 80% of every orchestra. A string orchestra is composed of usually 5 or 6 sections. You have the first violins, violin 1. You have the second violin, violin 2. You have the violas. You have the cellos. And you have the double basses. So this is the layout that you would actually have in a concert hall. Like, here's the director, the conductor's podium. And here's everybody, right? So a violin section, is going to be a certain number of people. It can range anywhere between 2 all the way to as many as you want, right? So some of the larger orchestras will have like 16 first violins, 16 second violins. And that means there's 32 people playing violins. There's 14 people playing violas. There's 12 people playing the cello. There's 10 people playing the double bass, and they're all playing the same thing. And right now, what did we get? We got that second leitmotif. I don't remember which track that leitmotif is from, but we've done it before, right? And we have that second leitmotif with now the rest of the orchestra. And it's a beautiful thing that we also had in the previous track, where the leitmotif is going, this motif is going down, and then the orchestra is going up. And it's just this beautiful moment of counterpoint in what we call contrary motion. Contrary motion. So contrary motion is one way to develop motifs in what is called counterpoint. Counterpoint is the study of melodies, how they are, how they interact with each other, how they develop, everything like that. And contrary motion just means part 1 is going in one direction, part 2 is going on the other. And I like his breakdowns comments. What can I say? Thank you, Mr. Solkrig, for the very kind comment. I'm gonna name drop you right now. Why not? So, so yes, we have contrary motion. There are other types of motion that you can have. For example, there's parallel, and then there's similar. So parallel motion means that both layers or both parts or all parts are going the exact same direction, doing the exact same thing, relatively speaking. Similar motion means that there is somewhat of a similarity, that the overall direction is the same, but there's a little bit of a difference somewhere here and there, which is a combination of parallel and contrary motion that we can get in these things. And this kind of covers all the interactions you can have with music. Like, all melodies in counterpoint can probably be summed up in these 3 different types of motion. And that is not a limiting thing. It's just an observing, it's an observation thing. These are the 3 main categories. And right now, we are doing mostly contrary point. Not counterpoint. Not counterpoint. Contrary motion. We're doing mostly contrary motion with some similar motion on this beautiful string orchestra. And of course, if you can, if you know how to compose for strings, you can get away with a lot. And right now, we're getting away with a lot. Let's see where this goes. Oh, the cellos, dude. And again. No, I think those are the violas in the second line with the violins higher up, and we're just breathing in and out. And this is one of the most beautiful things about strings, about these string instruments, and one of the reasons why the orchestra is so many string instruments, and that is dynamics. Dynamics in instruments like the violins, the violas, the cellos, the double basses is one of their most powerful things. So dynamics, otherwise nowadays known as velocity, is how loud or how quiet you can play the instrument itself. This is different to volume. Volume is just turning the volume knob higher or lower just to make it sound louder or lower. Dynamics is how quiet or how loud you actually play the instrument. Because there's a difference between singing quietly and singing loudly, and there's a difference between singing quietly and just turning up the volume for that. So in the sense of violins, we're making full use of these dynamics. We're going from quiet to loud at the precise moments to give this sense of motion, almost like it's breathing, almost a sense of breathing to this piece. We can feel the inhaling and the exhaling of the piece itself using only dynamics. Because musically speaking, right now, this past section, like this past bit we just heard, it didn't really have the motif. It had like a development of the motif, and it wasn't anything too special. Like the melody wasn't anything too complicated. It wasn't anything too dramatic. But what made this such a powerful moment was dynamics and orchestration. Not only did we pick the right instruments in the string section for this, but we also knew where to place them, what range each of them have, and how quiet, how loud, to make sure of this. If strings existed in the Baroque period, then why didn't they use other dynamics? But they did. The problem is that there were other instruments for the Baroque, and the concept of dynamics in the Baroque wasn't as explored until like Bach. And Bach was at the tail end of the Baroque period. Thank you for hanging out. Chorus, go ahead. So yeah, no, during the dynamics start getting a lot more explored in the classical period. So the Baroque period, it was mainly because of the keyboard instruments that you had to compose with. Because back in the day, you had stuff like harpsichords. Harpsichord is a keyboard that is basically on and off. The only dynamic that the harpsichord has is sound or no sound. Nowadays, we have the pianoforte, which has those dynamics. And back in the day, composers could only compose with the keyboard. So if your only resource was a harpsichord, and you have on and off, sound, no sound, all you have are keys. All you have is the one dynamic. So it becomes pretty difficult to be able to dictate dynamics when you can't really hear everything yourself in advance. So it was more of a technological limitation. So there you go. Spartacus gets me every time. There was no volume knob back then. Yeah, there was no volume knob. And back in the day, to get more volume, you just got more players. So there you go. Two dynamics, forte and piano. Back like in the Baroque, there was sound and silence. It was binary. It was like a flat binary before we introduced the pianoforte instrument, which had the entire range. And then the composers had the option of actually being able to hear that before composing. Because, you know, composing for orchestras, you're composing a lot of parts for a lot of people. You can't explore what you can't explore. If it's not within the realm of possibilities, then you're not going to take that risk unless you're some sort of madman like Bach. Let's see where this goes. So yeah, we're having that being held up and we can feel it breathing. Very, very lovely. Welcome back, Zero. You can just... And we have a chorus in the background. And we have a chorus in the background. Oh my god, dude. We have a chorus playing the same chord as the orchestra is, but without the melodies and everything. And oh my god, dude. It just adds so much depth. And this is the first non-string instrument we've had since the start. This is... Starfall, welcome to the day. Let's see. I know this is the last one of the day. Oh. And now we're letting the dynamic between the chorus and the orchestra. Leeds, welcome today. How you doing? That gave me chills. That gave me chills. The build up to the build up to the cymbal, and after the cymbal, using the cymbal as a transitionary instrument to bring in the piano with the new motif. I got goosebumps out of that, man. Look at that. This is how orchestration works. You are bringing the right instruments at the right time for the right reason, and oh my god, this is... You forgot I also stream? Well, there you go. You remembered. And we bring in the piano, which again, when it comes to these, the piano, the audio engineer kind of messed up the piano over here, but that's not the pianist's or the composer's fault. The piano's clipping a little bit. So when it comes to the piano, again, instrumentation orchestration, you want to pick the right instruments, not only for the right sound, but for the right psychological response. And a piano is one of the symbols of an individual. A piano is usually associated with a single person, the individual. What has been Halo about? The single individual that is Master Chief. The entire franchise has rotated around him. Yes, we've had others where there's not, but now we bring this. So we have this single line, a single melody in the piano, while everything else, the entire rest of the orchestra, is now rotating around it. Let's see where it goes. Beautiful. Yep. Reachable team? Yeah, I know. So yeah. Halo 5 changed things with 2 main characters? Yeah, I haven't played any of these, so... Back to silence. And again, silence. One of the most powerful. It's a double-edged sword, but one of the most powerful tools. And the thing is, right now, the composer here, Kazuma Jinochi, has made such good use of dynamics, because it's not just that we're getting the silence, but we're also getting that dying off. The instruments get quieter before the silence, and then we gradually bring it back, giving that sense of breathing to the entire piece, making every dynamic that is happening within it feel alive. And that is pretty tricky to do. Let's just see where it goes. And again, we bring the piano forward with the strings doing counterpoint. Very simple. We are repeating that motif that we had. Yeah, this is a completely different motif. This is probably another leitmotif from another track that we hadn't done before. But yeah, we're basically doing a compilation of a few different motifs from throughout the series. And the use of silence is not only being used for... I mean, this is Halo Canticles, so yes, I guess it's like collection of shorter pieces. Because we've gone through more than one piece here. Like, this is very different from the start. But this is kind of like a compendium, like a collection of things. Which I still like. Let's see where it goes. We bring back the chorus with the... We're having, I think, just... We're having the women... I think we're having only the women singing right now. Halo's... I played the first one, like, 20 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. So we're having a women's choir, just the women singing. So when it comes to vocal ranges, we have 4 overall vocal ranges. We have the soprano, we have the alto, we have the tenor, and we have the bass. So soprano and alto is the female vocal range. Tenor, bass is the male vocal range. These are 99%, like, no, maybe not, like maybe 90% of the population. Soprano is the higher end of women's vocal range. Alto is the lower end of women's vocal range. Tenor is the higher level, the higher end of male vocal range, which is still lower than alto. Bass is the lowest end of the vocal range, or the lower end for men's vocal range. There are some in-betweens. For example, there's the mezzo soprano, which can be either a in-between point between soprano and alto, or it can be that that person has the full range of both. That's a little bit more rare. And then between tenor and bass, we have the baritone, which can be either the range of both tenor and bass, or an in-between. In my case, I'm a baritone, and I have a good chunk of the tenor and a good chunk of the bass. I have almost the entire range for these two. And yes, then there's the castrati, which that's a historical thing, because back in the day, the church was the main conductor of music, and women were not allowed to sing, because that's just history. They were not allowed to sing, but they still needed parts for the soprano and the alto. So you had 2 types of men that could do this: boys and the castrati. So the castrati, as it sounds, it was men, boys, who were castrated before they could hit puberty, so that they would keep that soprano voice. that practice no longer exists for a very good reason. Nowadays, we have other types of men that have that kind of range in a more natural way. But yes, back in the day, the castrati was the way that you could get female vocals without actually having women sing. Very bizarre type in human history. Very bizarre time, very, very bizarre practices we've done to get around some pretty nonsense rules. Medieval times, Baroque is around the 1600s, so right after the medieval times. The medieval times ends with the fall of Constantinople in the 1450s, and this is around the 1600s. So yes, thank you for hanging out, Rhythmses. I'll catch you around. So yeah, let's see. Now we're approaching. Let's see where this goes. I just wanted to bring up the vocal ranges, and now we went there. Let's see. Choir recordings for the 6 tracks, including Halo Canticles, were down with a 30-person choir at the Rhythm of Prague, Czech Republic. Orchestral music was recorded with 16 microphones at Abbey Road Studios. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So where it goes? Let's just finish this. Those cellos and violas with that one note from the piano. And now the cellos, or in this case, yes, just the cellos, are playing the original leitmotif. Oh, that was nice. Or at least the first part of it. And now we... Oh! With the added orchestra going in that contrary motion... Oh, the orchestra, the violins descending, while the others are singing the motif as everything. We increase tension, we bring everything up, we bring the high note, we resolve everything, and we end it there. Gave me goosebumps again. That was beautiful. That was beautifully made. That was absolute, just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. There you have it. That was the Halo Canticles from Halo 5 Guardians original soundtrack. What a trip that was, dude. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this in the YouTube archive video thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel. Subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member to... Turn on notifications, support this channel as much as you want, but not at your own expense. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord, link down below, go to the LFA requests channel, follow the instructions in the pinned messages. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know the full schedule, linked in the description are the Discord and the Twitch. They both have the full schedule in your local time zone. It shows your local time zone so that you don't have to bother with calculating what time 6 p.m. Central European is. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel where we put the VODs of the gaming after shows that we do whenever they happen. We haven't done as many of these recently, but that's besides the point here. Games are Basterd, link down below, or you can search same username as James R. Basterd, swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. Halo never disappoints with their music, man. They've always gotten some really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff, man. But yeah, let's move on.